All right, ladies and gentlemen. So today we're going to go ahead and look for the missing information on proving that triangles are congruent. Okay, so check it out. What additional information is needed to prove that triangles are congruent by SAS? Okay, and so we're going to be given all four triangle congruence theorems that we've learned so far. So SAS, remember, stands for side, angle, side. So we need to have two sides and an angle in between for the two angles, for the two triangles to be congruent. Okay, so notice here, let's see what we already have in common. So we have this single tick mark here is congruent to that single one there. So that's S, that's a side. This one with double tick marks is over here. And right there, those two are congruent. So we already have the two S's. But now we need the angle in between. Okay, so notice triangles have three angles. And so we need to find the one that's in between these two sides here. And so notice this side here and this side here, they meet at L. So that's the angle that I need to label there. So I'm going to go ahead and draw a little arc there. And I'm going to do the same thing over here. Notice there's S and there's the other S, right? So the two sides, they meet at this angle in that corner. And so those are the two angles that need to show that they are congruent. So here's how I'm going to do this. Angle L has to be congruent to angle H. Angle L congruent to angle H. And that's it. Okay? So this symbol here in between means congruent, and this is angle L and this is angle H. Next one. SSS. So we need to show that they're congruent by SSS. So notice here we have this side and that side. So that's S and S right there. Then we have these three tick marks and those three tick marks. So that's S and S. And so now I need to show that the last side is congruent. So notice here, triangles only have three sides. So that means that this side here, I'll just do a single tick mark because 2 and 3 were already used. And so has to be congruent with that one. Okay, so notice here, this side RT, we're going to write it like this. RT, it's a segment of the triangle, has to be congruent to ZX. And it makes no difference if you wrote TR or XZ. All right, the order in which you write the line segment it makes no difference. Okay, all right, next one. Look here, angle, side, angle, ASA. So notice here we have angle. Let's compare this angle here. That's a single arc to that one there. That's a single arc. And then we have another angle there with double arc. And there's the other one with a double arc. So then we have A, right? So we need an S in between, a side in between those two angles. Well, that's easy. Look at those two angles, and then the side that connects those two angles is the side that we need. So I'm going to go ahead and put a tick mark there and there. So notice here, this is going to be KL. I need to put the line segment bar above it. Has to be congruent to AT. Just like that. Okay? And so now I'll have angle, side, angle, angle, side, angle. Notice how I'm going from single, side, double. Single arc, tick mark, double arc. Last one here, AAS. So here we need angle, angle, and then a side. Okay, notice here, let's look at the arcs. This one has two arcs, so that angle is congruent to the angle with the two arcs. So that would be this one. And then we have three arcs here, so that's the other angle there, and the other angle there. Now notice here, this is angle, angle, side. So the side is not going to be in between. The side is going to be off to the side of the two angles. So notice here, if I go from double arc to triple arc, and I pick this side, I need to do it the same way here. Double arc, triple arc, and then this side there. Okay, I could have done it the other way. I could have gone triple arc to double arc and then pick this side, and then done it the same way here, but I chose to go this way instead. Okay, so it makes no difference which direction you went. Just do one of those two. And so here now I can go ahead and label this. It's going to be YZ. It's going to be congruent to NM. And notice I need to put the bar above it. Okay. Now, all these four that we've done, they were where the two triangles were not connected. Well, now the next four are going to be where the triangles are connected. Okay, so let's look at the next one here. AAS. Okay, so notice angle, angle, side. We just finished doing that one on number 4, so you can look at that one to compare. But notice here we have an angle here, so that will be, that angle is congruent to this angle here. So notice here, this side is being shared, the KL. So there we have the side. So we have the angle and then a side. Now what I need now is another angle to show that they're congruent. Okay, so I can go ahead and do this. I could go ahead and draw an angle here. Okay, but I need to use double arc because that one already has a single arc. Okay, and then I could go ahead and label this one or this one. It makes no difference. I just need to label it. So I'm going to go ahead and label that one as a double arc. Okay, so notice here, now I have angle, angle, side, angle, angle, side. So that would be the other two angles. So basically what I showed was that this angle here is congruent to that angle here. Now I cannot just write angle L because notice there are two angles at L. So what I need to do is write out the 3 letters that mark that angle. So I'm going to say FLK, angle FLK is congruent to JLK, angle JLK. Okay, so when the two triangles are connected, if I'm labeling, if I'm naming an angle that is shared, then I need to label it by the 3 letters. Okay, now if I was just naming angle F up here, there is no other angle that is with the F right here like it is with the L, so I could just call it angle F and angle J. But since L is sharing the above triangle and the one below, then I need to label it by using the 3 letters. Okay, all right, what about ASA? Now I always think of this as a bow tie. Whenever we have a bow tie, we have vertical angles. So that means that this angle right here automatically is congruent to that angle, okay? So I went ahead and labeled that first because they are congruent. So this would be an angle and an angle there that are congruent, right? But notice here, they also have the box here. So that's another angle there and another angle there that is congruent. So I need to show ASA, angle, side, angle. So in other words, I need to show that there's a side that's congruent in between the two angles here. Okay, so notice here I already have the angle and the angle there, so I need to draw a tick mark there and there. Okay, and the vertical angles we don't need to write because we automatically know that those are congruent. Okay, because of the vertical angle. So all I need to show here is that CS is congruent to RS. And that's it. Okay. Again, these vertical angles are already congruent. Now, if I want to write that, it would be ESA, angle ESA is congruent to angle TSR. I'm getting confused by the A's that I'm writing there. Okay. All right. Here we have another bow tie. Okay. So I can go ahead and draw an arc there and there. Okay. Now notice here, I need to show SAS, side, angle, side. So this side here is already congruent to that side. I already know, so I could write a little S there and S. And these are vertical angles, okay? So right there in between, vertical angles again. And then finally, I need to show another side is congruent. So notice I have side, angle. Well, it only makes sense that it needs to be this side that's right next to it. So I'm going to go ahead and put double arc here. And same thing with this one. It's going to be side, angle, and then double arc there. Okay? So in other words, JI has to be congruent to EI. Okay? And if I want to name that vertical angle there, it would be HIJ, angle HIJ, congruent to angle GIE, angle GIE. Okay, notice here, they share a side here, so I'm going to go ahead and put double tick mark there. Oops, and I forgot to write down by what we need to show congruence. So here I'm going to call it SSS, okay, because we haven't done that one when they're connected. So to show that they're side, notice they already share this side. We did that at the beginning, so that means it's congruent to itself, okay? And so the last thing we need to show is the third side that's missing, right? So notice this side here is that side, it's congruent to that side. This side is congruent to itself. So we already have SS. So the only thing missing is the last side. So SSS, right? Okay. So basically I showed that DX has to be congruent to ZY. Okay. And again, I don't need to say that ZX is congruent to ZX, but just for good measure, I could go ahead and write it to show that we actually labeled it because we knew that those are connected sides, so therefore it means that they're congruent to one another. Okay, and that's it.